Hey, what's going on, guys? Realm Gaming here, back in another video. Today's episode, we're going to be reviewing the Mistweaver Monk hero talents. We have Conduit of the Celestials, and we also have Master of Harmony. So I will first go over Conduit of Celestials. That seems to be the more interesting one to me. I'm not sure if it will be the stronger one for Mythic Plus. Probably Master of Harmony will end up being stronger, but it really just depends on tuning. I think Conduit of Celestials will be more focused towards healing, and I think Master of Harmony will be more geared towards DPS. So let's go ahead and jump into it. So our top node here is going to be Celestial Conduit. It's on a 1.5 minute cooldown, and I think what they're trying to do here is replace Essence Font. So Essence Font did get removed and We're Within, and this works pretty similar to it. It's a channel, you can cast it while moving, and what this is going to do is it's going to radiate healing and damage to enemies and allies around you. So this is really nice to see. I think Essence Font previously was, I don't want to say it was useless, but is super expensive, and the only time I personally used it was to keep my Ancient Teachings buff up. And now with Jadefire Stomp being on a 15-second cooldown, and then Ancient Teachings also lasting 15 seconds, there's now no longer that weird 5-second lag where you don't have an Ancient Teachings buff up and you have to press Essence Font and you're having to kind of track it. Now you should always be able to keep your Ancient Teachings buff up, as Jadefire now properly aligns with it. So the whole idea of this tree is to sort of have these Celestials come out and they heal for you, and they can kind of be bursty. So when you need them in high damage phases, these Celestials will kind of be able to come out and kind of save your group from a wipe. So this will actually pair up very nicely at the bottom of our tree with Unity Within. So basically what this is saying is you can recast your Celestial Conduit while it's channeling for a burst healing at 200% effectiveness. So if for whatever reason though, you want to cast the entire channel of your Celestial Conduit, this ability will automatically cast at the end of your channel. So it's not something you have to worry about really. It's going to automatically take care of itself. But if you need the emergency healing, it's there. So we also have Strength of the Black Ox here. So after Schwinn assists you, your next enveloping mist cast time is reduced by 50% and causes Neus out to grant an absorb shield to 5 nearby allies for 3% of your max health. So this is actually a new proc that we can track. And I don't have anything to show you here, but it's this sort of brown marker that comes up on the left-hand side of your screen. And it's just a proc that you can track. Your enveloping mist will glow as well to let you know that it's ready. And this is going to be really nice because it's a buff to our enveloping mist, which is a huge heal. We're reducing the cast time on it, and it also gives an absorb shield. So it's kind of a win-win there. So that is a proc you will have to track. One thing that we didn't cover yet that I should have covered earlier is Courage of the White Tiger here. It's going to be approximately 4 procs per minute. And then Tiger Palm and Vivify have a chance for Schwinn to claw a nearby enemy. And when that happens, this is going to simply proc our Strength of the Black Ox. So, also at the very bottom, our Jade Serpent and our Chi-Chi Red Crane will also activate this effect. So whenever Courage of the White Tiger goes off, then Strength of the Black Ox will proc. Then one more thing that we have to track as well, this will be sort of like a green marker, and this will be on the right-hand side of your screen. This is at the bottom, August Dynasty. So casting Jadefire Stomp increases the damage or healing of your next Rising Sun kick by 30% or Vivify by 50%. This effect can only activate once every 8 seconds. So let's kind of back up for a second here. All right, we've talked about 2 different procs that happen. We've talked about Courage of the White Tiger, which causes Strength of the Black Ox to proc. We talked about Celestial Conduit. We talked about Unity Within. So pretty much everything else is going to be fairly passive. So I'm not going to talk about a lot of these other talents here. But in terms of this tree itself, I do think this is more raid focused. And I do think that it has potential for Mythic Plus as well. The only downside of this tree is in the damage department. I don't think that this is going to do quite as much damage as something like Master of Harmony. So with that being said, let's go ahead and segue over into Master of Harmony, take a look at that. So we have something called Aspect of Harmony, and if you're familiar with Restoration Shaman, we have something called Cloudburst Totem. And basically what that does, it absorbs all your healing over a set amount of time, and then you can reactivate it. It bursts that healing, that stored healing back out on your party just when you need some sort of emergency healing. So it sounds like to me with Aspect of Harmony, they're trying to play off that a little bit, but this also affects our damage as well. So basically what happens here is you store vitality from 10% of your damage dealt and 20% of your healing. Vitality stored from overhealing is reduced for 10 seconds after casting Thunder Focus T. Your spells and abilities draw upon the stored vitality and deal 25% additional healing over 8 seconds. So this will put a heal over time effect on your targets, and it's basically just going to heal them up based on that vitality. When I tested it, it capped out like 3.5 million. It might be higher than that now. I think at one point it got up to like 4 million. I don't know what happened there. But there does seem to be a cap on this, because without it, I think it would be pretty busted. Now, the way that this works is through your Thunder Focus T. So whenever you use your Thunder Focus T, that will release the vitality stored. Now, there is a talent here called Endless Drop that will give you an additional charge of Thunder Focus T. So that's going to be really good, because that's going to give us some more opportunities to manage our vitality, and we can use it more often. Now, we also have two options here, Purified Spirit versus Harmonic Gambit. The interesting one to me is Harmonic Gambit. So during Aspect of Harmony, Rising Sun Kick, Blackout Kick, and Tiger Palm also withdraw vitality to damage enemies. So this means that we can convert our vitality stored to damage as well if we want to. Now that sounds weak until we go down to Overwhelming Force. So Rising Sun Kick, Blackout Kick, and Tiger Palm deal 15% additional damage to enemies in a line in front of you. Damage is reduced beyond 5 targets. So I'm not sure how this will work. I would assume we would use Rising Sun Kick, Blackout Kick, and Tiger Palm when we release our vitality. I would assume it would do more damage when you pair it with Harmonic Gambit than something like Spinning Crane Kick. Now, outside of that, when we're building up our vitality again, I'm not sure if these 3 abilities will do more damage at 5 targets than a Spinning Crane Kick. But it seems like to me in AoE trash pools, they're trying to incentivize us to not just spam Spinning Crane Kick. So will be interesting to see how that plays out. And then again, we have yet another talent, Way of 1,000 Strikes, that also contribute to more vitality with our Rising Sun Kick, Blackout Kick, and Tiger Palm. So another interesting talent there. And then finally, we have Coalescence. Then finally, Coalescence here down at the very bottom. When Aspect of Harmony heals, it has a chance to spread to a nearby ally. When you directly heal an affected target, it has a chance to intensify. Targets damaged or healed by your Aspect of Harmony take 10% increased damage or healing from you. So again, pretty passive talent here is just going to directly buff our Aspect of Harmony. So I guess just overall, to recap everything, Master of Harmony to me seems to be what we'll be running in Mythic Plus. I wish it wasn't. But with all these things that are buffing our damage, I think that will probably be what's being ran. It really just depends how much this how much damage this Celestial Conduit ends up doing. We also have Courage of the White Tiger, so we do have some damage here as well. But just overall, there's just not as many damage nodes as something like over here at Mastery of Harmony, especially with the Vitality. I feel like we're going to be able to kind of channel that for really big pools, release it for an insane amount of healing. I think we just have more burst opportunities here with Master of Harmony. I wish Conduit of Celestials was better. I do think we'll get more overall healing with Conduit of Celestials. So, not to say it won't be ran. I do think that this is the stronger healing tree. But I do think Master of Harmony might fit Mythic Plus a little bit better than something like Conduit of Celestials. So with that being said, guys, that's going to be the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel. I also have some socials down in the description of the video if you guys want to check those out. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you on the next one.